exciting family entertainment program on the airwaves. And of course, we are thrilled to be your host this morning.
This is where your dreams come true.
Yes, it is.
This is...
What?
Well, because of that intro that again, when you started with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's not like we're just opening one concert and all that. Well, it's a concert of some sort because...
It's a concerto.
Because it's our Artsy Thursday where we get to, you know, celebrate African tradition, African culture, and all of that, and it's going to be a wonderful show we have in store for you. Now we're here, we're your partner in all things fun, feel good, get ready for a roller coaster of joy, because this is the day just before a lot of you say is the love day.
Love day.
That's what I worried.
Before. So have you noticed that every day this week, I've had a touch of red on? Have you noticed? Just in case you didn't notice, I'm telling you now. And then, of course, I'm planning something special for tomorrow as well. Yeah, so...
If you that red you want to wear, pressing iron will burn it. as you are pressing that, I need to burn at the last moment. You now change to black.
God forbid.
That red and white, all of it have to look like tetracycline.
Okay, I've now changed my cloth of choice now. I've changed it in my mind because of that thing you said. Because what I wanted to... Don't worry, it's not going to burn. Don't worry, you'll love it. But, of course, it is a day to put the final touches on your Valentine's Day plans. And, of course, it's our duty to make this Thursday edition of our show packed full of fun, music, art, and everything to get you ready for D-Day. Definitely,
we have a lot in store for you. It's Wake Up Nigeria, your premium breakfast show from Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Mike Messiken.
And I'm Titilayo Onyison. You can catch us live on GOTV, channel 16, UHF, channel 49, and StarTimes, channel 121.
We're streaming the show live, tvcentertainment.tv. You can also go on YouTube at TVC Entertainment, and that's the handle. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC to connect with us. And also you can download our app where you can catch us live anywhere across the world. What you need is just internet connection.
Indeed. We're always right there for your own convenience. And speaking of convenient, our lineup is incredible today. And we're kicking things off in a special way, right, Mike?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Of course, we've got a wonderful chef in the house this morning. T-Flow. T-Flow is in the house, and it's going to be a great one in the kitchen this morning with Chef T-Flow.
Yeah. And then we'll be bringing you an interesting book chat conversation. We have Hilda Manyo Dixon, a highly experienced finance professional with a career spanning over 2.5 decades. Now, she recently gained recognition as the author of the captivating book, Oshumameye, Nothing is Impossible.
I like that.
What?
You pronounce it, you got the pronunciation. I don't know how it's pronounced, but you got it, because when the thing sounded in your mouth, it sounded very nice.
She'll probably give us a little insight into the exact pronunciation.
It's okay.
But hey, we love book chat, and of course, digging into the pages of a book. It just takes you into new worlds sometimes. It does.
Today I was thinking of if I had writing skills or something. And then we have, after that, we have a performance from Krayne, Afrobeat artist, songwriter, and performer with music influenced by Runtown, Burna Boy, and the rest.
Anna, show me where, Anna, let's get it back, Anna, I'm determined, Anna.
Then, if you are tech savvy like me, you have a captivating tech discussion coming your way. Now, the rising threat of AI-driven fraud in Africa is what we're going to be concentrating on today. Sadly, emerging fraud tactics are widespread. There are a lot of regional vulnerabilities, and we need to figure out how businesses can strengthen their defenses using advanced biometric verification. It's a lot of big words, but we want to just help you look after yourself, Sha.
And of course, our guest will be Ibifuro Apiafi of Smile ID for that one. You don't want to miss it.
Then a performance coming your way. You know we love music on Wake Up Nigeria.
Jeff Jones. We're getting set to get into a wonderful weekend.
Then, of course, it's Artsy Thursday. We have an art exhibition. Hopefully, we're leaving you in awe with Victor. He has this amazing contemporary professional style to his painting. And his art speaks about originality, identity, positivity, and so much more. It's going to be an interesting display. Stay with us.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I'm seeing some wonderful art pieces here. And then to wrap up the show today, we've got the icing on the cake. Well, pace setter, trailblazer, trendsetter, Niyi Akinmolayan, leading Nigerian filmmaker, director, animator, renowned for his commercially successful and impactful contributions to Nollywood. 5 of his films, A Wedding Party, Chief Daddy, Prophetess, My Village, The Setup, rank among the top 50 highest grossing Nigerian films. Something I know about him.
My Village people.
He supports the industry so much, and he supports women a lot in industry. He is the CEO, of course, and the owner of Ant Hill Studios, doing quite a lot when it comes to movies and all of that. Well, we're going to be talking to him. He's set to release another groundbreaking television project, Temi and the Laba Laba Band. It's for kids. And
you know what Laba Laba is? Do you know what that is? Butterfly.
Oh.
Laba Laba. Right? Right? Am I right? I should be right.
Is too short of name, but hey, come on. We'll be talking about that. Niyi, of course, is in the house. We're looking forward to a wonderful conversation with him. But all of that will be after we take a look at what the weather is like. I was expecting rain yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, there was some serious winds, and it seemed as though it was going to rain. I'm not.
It could have been that an angel was passing. So.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Angel.
But let's see how many more angels are going to be blessing us with great weather today.
It's a 13th day in the month of February, of course, just a day to what we call Day of Love. Good morning and welcome. This is the news on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikena. Now, 6 months after President Bola Tinubu sent the tax bills to the National Assembly, the bills have now passed the second reading at the House of Reps. The proposals were referred to the Committee on Finance after an extensive debate by a majority of the members. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Hours, one after the other, members of the House of Representatives debated the principles of the 4 tax reform bills sent to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu last year. The bills sparked criticisms and faced stiff opposition from many, including northern governors, opposition politicians, and lawmakers from the north, forcing the suspension of the consideration in the House of Representatives. All hurdles have now been cleared as the leader of the House leads the debate after presenting the bills for consideration. Julius Ihaveri believes enactment of the tax reform bills offers many benefits to the people and governments at all levels.
The focus of the tax reform bills, essentially to ensure a total overhaul and modernization of the tax system, which is chronically outdated and one of the most backward on earth.
The Nigerian tax reform bill seeks to consolidate separate tax laws into a single piece and proposes a repeal of the Personal Income Tax, Value Added Tax Act, and Company Income Tax Act. Members from across all geographical zones took turns to contribute. There was no dissenting voice as members comment the initiatives behind the bills. They spoke eloquently of the merits of the bills when they become laws. Some concerns were, however, raised about some provisions of the bills. Some of the lawmakers were against the proposed increase in value-added tax.
I think that the governors have spoken as true Democrats, as true lovers of Nigerians.
On the issue of increasing the VAT, we are all on the same page that VAT should not be increased. But let us use the advantage in this reform to increase collection efficiency from 20% to at least 70%.
The funds generated should be channeled towards amenities, basic amenities that will enhance the livelihood in our country.
Whatever system, policy, or law or regulation that we are bringing on board, the first consideration must be the welfare of the majority of the Nigerian people.
This bill addresses two critical, important issues to me: economic stability and the growth of our nation, Nigeria.
The bills have now been referred to the Committee on Finance for further legislative action. The House Committee on Finance will, in the coming days, host industry players, professionals, organized labor, the civil society community, and other members of the public for their contributions into the bills ahead of a clause-by-clause consideration and third reading by the House. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Now let's take a look at some sporting updates. Liverpool played out a 2-2 draw against Everton in their rescheduled Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Beto scored the first goal after Liverpool defence was split open by a pass from Braithwaite. Then on to the Champions League, where Gustav Nilsson won and scored a controversial late penalty as Club Brugge claimed a narrow lead over Atalanta in the first leg of their Champions League knockout playoff tie. The Belgian champions started brightly and were rewarded for their effort when Ferran Jogla went on to dispatch a right-foot shot into the top left corner in the 15th minute. The visitors leveled 4 minutes before the end of the first period, with Croatian international Mario Pasalic heading into David Zapacosta's cross from the left. However, when Atalanta's Swedish defender Isak Hien held off his compatriot Nilsson with his arm in added time, Turkish referee Halil Umut Mela awarded a penalty to the host, which was confirmed by the video assistant referee. Nilsson sent the visiting keeper Rui Patricio the wrong way from the spot to give his side victory. And that's it on Sports and the News for the we'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We will be back. The show is just getting on the road.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
The time has come to experience the power of faith, music, and praise. This is the Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m., tune in to catch the pulse-pounding beats and soul-stirring melodies that will elevate your faith and leave a lasting impact on your heart. The Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. exclusively on Max FM, where we count down the best 20 urban gospel hits from around the world. Get your praise on. You're my provider. You're my provider.
Time for us to have a conversation this morning on A Wake Up Nigeria. And the conversation is based on a book chat review, and is going to be with Hilda Manyo Dixon. She is a highly experienced finance professional, and I'm actually looking forward to reviewing this book, which is called Osunyameye. I want to believe I pronounced it right.
Osunyameye.
Okay, Osunyameye. What does it mean? Nothing is impossible with God. What language is this? I'm always excited to learn something new when it comes to languages. All right, so this book, you know, you captured me from the very first page, talking about how, you know, we all have our lives figured out. Every girl grows up believing, oh, I'm going to meet the love of my life by the time I'm 21. We'll be married at 23 or 24. I'll have my first child at 25 or 26. And by 30, it's always 30.
Also,
I'm done with childbearing. You know, it's funny, it's always 30. No one ever says by 35.
We love rounding things
we
up,
love
right?
Neatly, like no loose ends and all, by 30. And then by 30, you find that you haven't even found the love of your life. And that's something I've realized about life. And reading this book was such a reminder of appreciating where you are right now, because the journey might be long. But I'll let you tell us about the book, Osunyameye. Did I get it right?
Osunyameye. Don't worry, I still struggle too, but it was just the best name to give it.
Let's talk about it. So,
okay.
Tell us in summary what Osunyameye is, and then we'll talk about every page, because literally every chapter comes with its own deep feelings, deep emotions as well. So let's have an overview first.
Okay. The book, I would say, was inspired by pain.
Pain?
Right, yes. And it was a case of turning pain to purpose. Osunyameye, like we just said, means nothing is impossible with God. So after finding this love of my life, it took us almost 5 years to conceive for a baby. And eventually this baby comes, the joys, the thrills, we are all so excited. And what next? Boom. At 21 months, she was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And not just cancer, you know, when you get to the point where you've roamed a little bit, you can't find a diagnosis, and you now hear cancer, and you hear it's stage 4 already because you didn't present on time. So in that, as I went through that journey, the whole idea was I just needed someone authentic, someone vulnerable, books, positive things to let me know that I hadn't just been handed a death sentence, right? And it was very difficult to get someone that, yes, a few people shared their stories, but you know how you want to see things in black and white?
Yes.
I just didn't get it. So at some point, I ended up joining a group. A parent recommended a group, a support group. And I went in there hoping to get some level of positivity from it. But shockingly, the group scared me more than anything else.
How so?
Almost each day you open up the chat. Oh, this has gained her wings. That had gained. The children kept on passing. This has relapsed. That. So it became also scary. So the brave me, the encourager, suddenly started having nightmares. So I had to pull myself. And I'll say that partially birthed this book. Because at that point, I made a vow to say, okay, God, take me through this. And I will document it to give people hope in hopeless situations, to be that light that shines through the darkest points. And that's really where I found myself. So this book takes you through meeting that love of my life, the wait together, and going into details of the whole treatments, the pain, the wins, the whole journey. I was very vulnerable. But besides that, when you get to the end of the book, what you might call the epilogue, I more or less shared my weapons, my tools, my coping mechanisms. How was I able to go through this journey without, you know?
When I was reading the book, a part of me thought it was fiction, but I was like, it's too real to be fiction. Now, I'm hearing you use personal words, I, we. It's your story. It's not fiction.
It's not fiction.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Now everything totally falls into place. Oh my gosh.
It's not fiction. It's real.
My goodness. It's actually, for once, I don't even know how to put the words together. I mean, this is a lot to deal with. And I must say, you are fortunate as well to have a supportive partner. Losing a child, especially for those who kept talking about wings, can be really difficult. And so having to deal with this after waiting for so long and then finally having the child, 21 months. Wow, stage 4.
Yeah, it was.
What kind of cancer was it?
Neuroblastoma. Yes.
Oh, usually that one tends to go undiagnosed because it's, has to do with, oh gosh, so let's talk about the positives.
Yes.
Let's talk about what it did to your marriage. How did it help strengthen it? Because many couples go through this and they totally fall apart.
Yes.
What effect has it had on your relationship with your husband?
I would say it made our bond stronger. Yes, we went through it together. At the time I was leaving the country, he said, oh, we all have to go together. And I said, no, we can't all go together because we don't know what is on the other side, because we left here not knowing what to expect. So I said, I'll go ahead just in case there are any other things, before you start coming in. So it was a journey we went through together. Yes, we went through it together. At every opportunity he had, he was right there. I mean, when we were here, we were in hospitals together. When we traveled over there, every opportunity he had, he came over. So it was a journey we went through together. I mean, we waited together. And even while waiting, it was done in love. And if you have if you are knowledgeable, you would know that there's no blame game here.
There's no blame game.
Right? Yeah. Nobody caused it, right? It's just your lot, I would say, at that point. And yes, I do agree and allude to the fact that even while there, I saw many homes go apart as a result of this. But in our own case, we're grateful. I'll say our anchor was God, our anchor was our faith, and through it all, we saw God come through. So as a family, it actually got us closer, got us a bit more purposeful, and helped us see life from a different lens.
Now, jumping to the end, how did you feel finding out you were pregnant?
That's the beginning. It was really exciting, I would say. Why would I say that? You know, the name on CME, when you look at this name, I wrote this book, and it was at the end of the book we had a name for the book. The book started with a day called Hope.
A day called Hope.
Okay. Yes, and that had been given by a friend of mine. She called it a day called Hope, and really it seemed like the best. But, you know, we went on. So basically, October 2005, we were with a doctor in the US, top-notch, and he made it clear it is impossible for you to have a child naturally. And he told us clearly that IVF is not even going to work for you. You need to go have an ICSI done. You know, they have to take the egg, take the sperm, do the injection, and we were like, wow, okay. This was October. And we came in here, November, we started a service where another couple, our pastor then, his wife, they had been told that they couldn't have a baby as well. And after 10 years, they conceived naturally. So we started that service, and I'll say we keyed into that as well.
You know, some things are very, very inspirational and also very encouraging. I believe that's the purpose of such gatherings, to just inspire and encourage. Really, I must say to you, Hilda, your story is inspiring. Now, I'm going to read this again, but with you in mind, realizing that it's truly your story. Thank you so much for sharing it, Hilda.
Thank you.
This is a book you need to read. It's called Osunyame. Okay, you are still struggling, so...
Onsunyame.
Onsunyame. Yes, that's what it's called. So you should go check it out. It's a very good book, a very, very good book, especially if you're going through stuff. Yes, nothing is impossible with God. All right, at this point, we'll take a break. You are watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there.
or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
All right, the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen is about to come alive. Why? Because we have a chef that has the flow. Not just any flow, the tea flow. Chef Tea Flow in the building. Welcome back. Always great to have you. Always great to have you.
Thank you.
Chef Tea Flow.
Ma.
Okay. Valentine is coming. Eh? Where is your boyfriend? You are sitting recipe, or is it something you were taught?
Special recipe.
Okay, where do we begin?
This is my zobo.
The zobo leaf or zobo flower?
Zobo flower.
So you soaked it, you boiled it yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you can see it right now. Let's move that out of the way. Let's see if they can see this right now. The sorrel, zobo hibiscus flower
yes.
has been boiled. How long did it take for you to put this?
Like 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. Anything else added to that?
No.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
Just the zobo leaf?
Just the zobo leaf.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Now, after 15 minutes, obviously, you sieved out.
I sieve out, yes.
Fantastic. So let's talk about the other ingredients now.
This is the rice.
Okay.
This is the pepper mix. This is my pepper for garnishing. This is my curry masala, the garlic and ginger, the groundnut oil, salt, onions, my protein. Which is
so this protein here looks like beef. It is beef, right?
Yes, it's beef.
So what has happened to this beef so far? Right here.
I marinate with my salt, seasoning, onions, garlic and ginger.
Okay.
So stir fried and I fried.
Fantastic. Now we have a very nice star of the show here.
Yes.
Pineapple.
Yes.
The pineapple, the inside of the pineapple, I'm not seeing. I'm only seeing the case.
I have the juice.
The juice.
Yes. I'm using it's zobo. Okay. So I'm making the zobo and I'll be adding my jollof rice, mix everything together.
So people have different ways of making jollof.
Yes.
You know, some people like to fry their sauce.
I stir fry, yes.
Aha. And then some people have maybe the sauce is already done, then you just add the rice. But we have an element that I'm not used to, which is the zobo.
Yes.
So how does that come
instead
to
of
play
using
now?
the stock?
Okay.
So I'm using my zobo juice.
Okay.
For the stock.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So where do we begin? What's the first thing we need to do?
I need to start stir frying now.
Okay. All right. Let me put this on for you. Stir frying which aspect now? Stir frying
oil.
The oil. Which one do you want? On this one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So that's come to the heat. This zobo now, do you need it hot or does it have to cool
like
down?
This.
Okay. Fantastic. Got it. So now we go in with the oil. Let's let that cool down. Meanwhile, for those that would like to try this at home, let's tell them the ingredients one more time while we're waiting for that pot to heat up before we add the oil to it. We have, of course, white rice. We have pepper mix,
groundnut oil, the beef, the pineapple, the season, the onions, garlic and ginger, the masala curry, the pepper, salt, and this is my clove.
Okay, cloves. I know cloves for pepper soup.
Yes.
That's what I know it before. So you're adding cloves to this?
Yes, the zobo.
Aha. So I have a feeling people that know the true zobo recipe know that cloves is a big part of it.
Yes.
And it gives it a special flavor. Okay, is that hot enough for us now?
Yes.
Great. How much vegetable oil do we have in there? Like a cup?
Yes.
About a cup of vegetable oil?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll let that come to the heat. So, in goes the onions, garlic and ginger. Is it just garlic? Garlic and ginger. First.
Yes.
And then we let that simmer. So I've heard about quite a few different things about zobo itself, the zobo leaf and the health benefits. I hear it's filled with antioxidants. I hear it's really good for your energy levels as well.
It also boosts the immune system.
Fantastic. So adding it to rice, I know people are still on the shelf about that. Yeah. They're not really sure. Zobo rice, how is it going to look? Is it just for the color or is it actually for the flavor?
The flavor, the color, and the taste.
Fantastic. Okay, I think that's a bit hot now. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, so we have onions going in. It didn't give us the sizzle we're looking for. Oh, dear me. It's not hot enough yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. And after that, we go in with the garlic and ginger. Yes. So, I was going to advise you to protect this from Mike Mesikeno because, his fingers are very fast. And this kind of, let me hide it. Right,
it's not even only my... even Juwon.
Mr. Juwon.
Juwon.
Wow. For those that don't know Mr. Juwon, he's a very important member of our team. Yeah. Without him on the floor, we might be on the floor. But we're watching the onions fry right now. And for those that are wondering what is going to happen next, after the onions, garlic, and ginger, what goes in next, Mama?
The pepper mix.
The pepper mix. Got it. And obviously, once you have the pepper mix in there, that means you can start spicing. Woo. So, I've tried so many different types of things with Zobo. My first time trying Zobo rice. What do I have to be careful of while making this particular meal? What do I need to be careful of? All right, you know what? Before then, before we go any further with this particular meal, I think we need to take some music. Are you ready for some music? I think I am. Mary, who do we have?
I've always believed there is no better combination than food and music. And talking about food and music, Titi is going on and on about Zobo rice. Yesterday we had begiri pasta. You ain't seen nothing yet, girl. But then it's time for us to have some mind-blowing music performances as always. And today it will be by the dynamic Afrobeat artist, songwriter and performer Krayne. His music is influenced by legends like Ron Town and Burna Boy. And it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning. How you doing? All right, so Krayne. How did you come about that name? Really interesting, because I know of T-Pain, I know of Dami Krayne, of course. So, Krayne.
Yeah, actually, my name is Kingsley.
Okay.
So my daddy's name is Chigozie, so I combine the names together.
Oh, your dad's name, then Krayne. Oh, that's very interesting. So what kind of music do you do?
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat, okay. So there's not Afrobeat fusion, because I know for sure that you do Afrobeats, but I know a lot of people these days say, oh, I do Afrobeat fusion. Is yours just, okay, yours is not strictly Afrobeat, it's Afrobeat fusion. All right, so what's the title of the song you're performing today?
Blessing.
Blessing.
Yeah.
What's Blessing about?
Blessing, work that I've been doing around me, what God I've been doing. Like things that have been going around me, things that have been happening on my journey. Yeah.
We can't hear you clearly because you're covering your mic.
Things that have been happening around me, like both the bad ways and the good ways of life. Yeah. So I'm just trying to show appreciation by trying to, trying to explain to people that God can do anything, no matter how things are hard. Yeah, blessings. Yeah.
Amazing. You know what? We can't wait to hear Krayne's performance. So take it away.
Anna, show me where, Anna, let's get it paid. Anna, I'm determined. Anna, my believe I'm here. Stack the pay, Anna, change the game, Anna. Wherever you find me, today, blessing today, all this blessing now my own, now my own. Today, blessing today, all this blessing now my own, now my own. Tout le monde, tout le monde, tout le monde. skeleton cute like this. All the skeleton cute like that. All these fine girls want dance like that. With the fresh boy drip so hard. All the body guns feel like this. All the body guns feel like this. Feel like this. Blessing today. All this blessing now my own. Now my own. Today. Blessing today. All this blessing now my own. Now my own. Tout le monde levez les mains. 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 Tout le monde levez les mains.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
It's a mean of getaway, heart of hustle and bustling in Lagos, at Lagos, with Lagos, about Lagos, and it's the vice that gives me joy. Entertainment is creativity. Entertainment is way of life. Entertainment is how you can describe it. You know, that thing. You know, that thing that gives you joy. That thing that's specific. That's entertainment to it.
All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now we have quite a captivating tech discussion this morning, and we're looking at the rising threat of AI-driven fraud, of course, in West Africa and Africa as a whole and all of that, and it's going to be quite a nice one here. I have with me here on the show this morning, Ibifuro Apiafi. It is great to have you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, so when we say AI-driven fraud, what exactly do we mean by AI-driven fraud?
Okay, so AI-driven fraud is basically fraud that is perpetrated leveraging AI tools, right? So in the past, we saw a lot of fraud that was pretty basic. So people trying to gain access to financial services apps using maybe a picture of somebody's picture or taking a video that they've pre-recorded and trying to take a screen grab from that. But now we're seeing people using AI tools to generate synthetic IDs that they're then using to try and onboard on digital banking apps. And we're also seeing on some digital banking apps, you'll find that the KYC requirement requires someone to smile. And so we're seeing people use AI-generated tools again to generate videos of people that are not presenting themselves but making them look like they're smiling to get through the KYC requirements at the point of onboarding.
All right, wonderful. Now, Smile ID, you did a report on all of this,
We did.
Now, what were the findings of this particular report?
So we found some interesting things. So first things first, AI-driven fraud is on the rise, right? Especially in the last 2 quarters of 2024, we saw it rise 7-fold. Now, it's alarming, but then there are measures that can be taken, right? We're seeing things happen across different markets. So in West Africa, for instance, it's mostly biometric authentication fraud because on in West Africa, most of the businesses there leverage biometric authentication. In East Africa, we're seeing more document-related fraud because in East Africa, there's more document authentication as part of the onboarding process. So those are some differences we're seeing on the continent. Also, what we've noticed is that there's been a shift from registration fraud to authentication fraud, and I'll explain what that means. So you're 4 times more likely to encounter fraud at the point of authentication, and that's because at authentication, typically there's already value in whatever the person is trying to break into. So authentication will typically happen when a user...
No, go ahead.
Okay. Authentication will typically happen when a user is trying to maybe change their password or change their address on their app, or they're trying to do a transaction, just trying to confirm their identity. We're seeing a lot more fraud happen at that point in the journey than at the point of registration, because if you look at the economic climate globally, right, people are a lot more motivated now to perpetrate fraud because of the harsh conditions. We're also seeing that people are more willing to sell their identity, right, so that it can be leveraged by these fraud, I'll say, syndicates.
Syndicates, as it were. So, like you said West Africa is more biometric, and East Africa is more documentary. Why? Why is it that there's that proliferation of the biometric fraud in West Africa? Why is it much? Why is it that much here?
Okay, so in West Africa, you find that we have ID authority databases that are available and accessible, and so onboarding in West Africa is typically a user provides their ID number, and then they're required to take a selfie, and then the ID number is then used to query the ID authority database, and we pull the image from the ID authority database and then compare that to the selfie that has been provided. So that's why you're seeing more biometric authentication fraud. But in East Africa, what you're seeing is more document checks. So the user provides a selfie and a picture of their document, and then the security checks are done between the selfie and then the image that's on the document. Right, so that's why we're seeing that difference.
Now, you made mention of financial institutions, they're the ones that are more susceptible, I think, for it to such. Is there any way, what can they do from their own back end to ensure that maybe this is entirely wiped out, if not maybe reduced to the barest minimum? Is there anything they can do?
So wiping it out is difficult.
That's the thing. So it is.
Because fraud is forever evolving, right?
Yeah, it is.
So there are things they can do, though. So first things first is, as counterintuitive as it may sound, it's leveraging more biometric authentication means, right? And partnering with organizations that have the expertise, like Smile ID, right? So we wake up every day and all we think about is how to protect our partners, our clients, from these fraudulent attempts, right? That's what we do. And so we encourage people to work with organizations like us. So that's the first thing. And then we would like to see more collaboration, because these fraud syndicates, they operate in packs, and they're very happy to collaborate
amongst themselves.
So locally, across jurisdictions, they work pretty well together. So it would be good to see more of that within like financial services, within even like technology players like ourselves, and also with the regulators.
When you say partnerships with who? Within the technology circuit, or are you talking about partnerships with government or private sector? What kind of partnerships do you mean?
It's a mix, right? Because the fraudsters don't work in isolation, so I don't think that the players who are trying to keep them out should work in isolation. So technology partners should work together. Financial services institutions need to do some more data sharing, because if someone perpetrates fraud on platform A, it's very likely you'll find that they'll commit fraud on platform B. Right, so it's important that there's some data sharing across organizations. Is
that not happening now?
Not real time, right? So it happens typically when there's been some maybe law enforcement involvement, and then you find that by the time they're investigating...
So it's basically reactionary.
Yeah, so we need to get to a point where it's more proactive.
As it were.
And there's a lot more data sharing and synthesis across the ecosystem.
How about on the private level now, as a person? Is there any way I can... safeguard myself or something, or safeguard my information against such AI?
So the first thing is be careful where you provide your identity information, right? You see that it's not your NIN, so as a Nigerian, for instance, your NIN BVN information is very important, and you shouldn't just provide it on any platform. So you need to be careful about where you provide that personal information, right? If you see a scheme that looks like it's too good to be true, it probably is. So don't just share your information and think that you're going to quickly make some quick money, right, on any scheme, because it could just be them trying to farm your data, which they will then use to perpetrate fraud at a later date, right? So it's very important to just be mindful, be very watchful, and be careful about.
And then you made mention of regulatory agencies. That's talking about, of course, government agencies and all of that. Where do they come into this? Because, like we mentioned, we can be reactionary and all of that. In what ways can we ensure that that government is on their feet? Because, like you said, they can enforce, can't they enforce this partnership, as it were? Because, like you mentioned, for the fact that you call for partnership amongst the technology players, that means that it is not there as it should be.
Yeah.
Is there something that government can enforce that as a prerequisite, maybe for playing in the technology space, that you have to share information or partner? Because, like you said, those guys don't work in isolation. You could even have cases of people that are in the aspect going back to commit this fraud. So what can be done? I mean, from the government part, how can they make sure that maybe some sort of regulatory framework, a law or something to ensure that you have to do this as a technology player?
Yeah, so I mean, regulators are doing a lot already. They've already, I believe last year, there was a lot of regulation that came out around ensuring that people are providing specific information at certain stages of the onboarding process. They've also made some requirements for biometric authentication to be part of the process. So we're just saying we need to see more of that. We expect the regulators to create the standards that the industry should follow. They're doing a lot of that. We're working quite closely with them as well to ensure that we're creating standards that will help limit the amount of fraud that we're seeing in the ecosystem. How do you work with them? In what ways do you work with them? I mean, so information sharing, right? So for instance, with this report that we've worked on, we spend time with them, talking them through what we're seeing and what we think they should be doing, right? And also, if we see certain trends and fraud happening, like last year when we saw the spike in AI-generated fraud, we did, send that information across to them so they're aware of what's happening in the ecosystem. So that's really what we do.
How often do you do these reports?
So currently we do it annually.
Annually?
Yes, annually.
Yeah, is it possible to have it more frequently? Because, like you said, they evolve, just almost like everybody, and the evolution can be as trends are coming up and all of that. I mean, is a year maybe not too long? Because before that time, come on, new methods go on, the new formats go on, they go on. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So, I mean, we do the annual report, so we also have our newsletter where we share new products that we're releasing that will help partners protect themselves. And if there are any specific trends that we've seen in the course of the year, we actually send that out in our newsletters as well. So the report sort of just gives an overview of what we've seen in the whole year. But there are little bits of information that you can get from our website, or from, if you subscribe to our newsletter as well, you get notification of any changes in the course of the year as well.
In the course of the year as it happens. But now, as a person, now this is more financial institution based. Yeah, I know I'd mentioned as a person, if they take my information now and all of that, are the financial institutions more affected than the than the end consumer?
It's
who takes the brunt of this? Who bears it more?
Yeah, so it's a mix, right? Okay. So for individuals, if they take your information, if they're able to take over your account, for instance, they will take all the money in your account, right? Now, it's now down to you being able to prove that you weren't the one that did that transaction.
So who bears it? Will the financial institution reimburse me if I can prove that it wasn't me?
It depends on, yes. So the financial institution in that instance will bear the cost.
They will take they'll bear the loss.
Yeah. So it's So
I've not. Is that practical? Because I have. Now you're saying it.
Yeah.
I know what people find. My doctor is telling me that it's not. It's not, because yes, it happens. The money has gone. I'm trying to see if someone that the financial institution took. They tell you that it happened. Or it was your fault. Or one thing. Yes.
Yeah. That's so. Unfortunately, the burden is on the individual to prove that they didn't conduct that transaction.
How do you prove that? Because this is me. I'm telling you that of everyone that I know, there's nobody that I know that. Maybe except, I don't know, maybe one or very few cases. It's isolated of those that even get their money back, but very few.
I mean, so there are channels for reporting these things as well to the regulators, and they will help, engage with the financial services organizations on your behalf, right? So if you feel like you're not getting sort of traction, you can use those channels as well. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. All right, this has been quite expository, and well, for all of you out there, like she mentioned now, it's possible that the financial institution can bear the brunt of the loss. It doesn't have to be on me as it has been because that's the one that affects quite a number of people. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and thank you for this enlightening discussion.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, hope you're able to pick up something there. Don't go anywhere. We will be back at the top of the hour.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
It's time for the second hour to begin.
The second hour has begun. All right, well, welcome. And of course, it's Artsy Thursday. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. If you are just joining us, you missed quite a lot, especially the last discussion where we're talking about. Have you ever had issues that had to do with, you know, maybe someone taking your money out or something, or someone you know?
So I've made costly mistakes on my phone. I have.
Based on that, you
but
took
I
responsibility
realized
for it.
that it was my mistake.
Okay.
You know, but thankfully it wasn't something that couldn't be, you know, completely
Resolved,
rectified.
So
or
from that discussion, what I know is that if you can, like what she said, was that if you can prove that it is not maybe of your own mistake, and you know,
if you can prove it. So even if you do have the proof, sometimes the work involved in defending or getting your money back or whatever you've lost is so much work. Sometimes you just want to just let it go and forget about it. But hey, hopefully you learned something good in the tech discussion earlier on, and we promise that the rest of the show is not going to disappoint you.
All right, definitely. Of course, Chef Tiflo is on standby. You guys are putting together, what do you call it? Zobo
jollof rice.
Okay, so that means it's going to be purple, right? The rest will come out purple.
Is Zobo actually purple though? It's not purple.
Is it red?
It's not red.
Because I know I've seen purple rice.
It's like maroon.
I know I've seen purple rice.
It's like color of your.
Okay, maroon.
Is that, I don't know. Maroon.
We'll see how this one turns out. I know I've
plum.
seen purple rice. Green rice is quite easy. You just put curry and call it fried rice.
Maybe Mary can give us a better idea of what sort of color we should expect from this.
Well, Chef Tiflo is insisting that it's going to be purple, right? So she says it's going to be purple. So fingers crossed how this will turn out. Whether it's purple, it's red, or it's orange, or jollof is what we are having. Zobo jollof.
So Chef Tiflo was just about to go in with the rice. She's already done her mix, so she's just about to go in with the rice so they can start getting set for us before.
It will definitely get cooked before the show ends. Not to worry.
We have
no panic.
You know, talking about purple, incidentally, just a few days back, I was going through some of the best Super Bowl halftime performances. And a number of people said that Prince's rendition of Purple Rain is the best. Or actually, that his whole performance was the best Super Bowl performance of all time.
Seriously?
Better than even Michael Jackson.
So much.
So, I don't know. But
I liked Michael Jackson's, but I still feel like technology has really upped the game of the Super Bowl over the years. I loved the Usher performance last year. That was just amazing. But yeah, Our performance right here is going to restart with this second hour. We are on, of course, UHF channel 49 and StarTimes channel 121 in case you would like to watch us live from anywhere. We have Jeff Jones coming to perform for us, Nigerian-born Afrobeat. On art display, Onu Victor, a contemporary professional painter who has some amazing artwork. His art speaks about originality, identity, positivity, hope, courage, togetherness, and of course, love. Then, of course, our celebrity guest, Mike.
Yeah. Of course, filmmaker, director, renowned commercial success. You invest in him and you get your money back. Of course, with great and impactful contributions to Nollywood. 5 films he has done in the top 50. We're talking about none other than Niyi Akinmolayan from Anthill Studios. And they have something quite new. Temi and the Lava Lava Band. You said it's Butterfly, right?
Yeah.
I'll be band here, so maybe we'll get them to come and perform sometime.
So it's a 13-episode sitcom for families.
For families and all
powerful.
of that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
So, Mike, did you ever read the book Antilles of the Savannah?
Yes, Antilles of the Savannah.
Did?
Yeah, it was very big then. Now, I mean, you're talking about
huge.
It was in the level of the Gabriel Okaras. What were the books that time? Now I'm trying to remember the names, but yes, once you just mentioned, it took me back to the days of you know. The Concubine, of course.
The Gods Are Not to Blame.
The Gods Are Not to Blame.
Amazing classics.
Great stuff,
when I heard Anthill Studios, that was exactly what
came into your mind.
There's quite a lot coming your way, everyone. There's still a lot. Stay with us. Quick break coming your way.
The kind of show you see in terms of production quality on Disney Plus, Nickelodeon. You know those good old Saturday morning shows that we all grew up watching? And so we've taken that, you know, a notch higher. You know, we've thought about how do we get kids to create their own shows, you know, rather than the things we throw out there. So it's going to be exciting. It's music, it's food, lots of food as well.
You know what? There's going to be an opportunity for you to talk a lot more about this when we get to the couch. But when we're in the kitchen, we want to get to know you and how you are at home with family. So do you know, participate in kitchen activities at home?
Yes. So I tell stories.
Okay.
And I do a lot of the choppings.
Okay.
You know,
so if I give you an onion to dice right now, you would.
Yes, I would.
You would? Okay.
Yes,
all right. Fantastic. So what we're making here, when you heard what it was called, did it, you know, surprise you? Zobo jollof rice?
I mean, it piqued my interest, you know, so I love Zobo a lot, and everyone who follows me know I love jollof rice. So I don't know if the Zobo will change the color of the jollof rice, because, you know, would it still be jollof if it is purple?
Ooh. So if you would, I know you probably can't see it from there because of the steam, but the color of the jollof has already adjusted. For those that, you know, are just tuning in, we are making Zobo jollof rice. Actual Zobo juice was boiled and we're steaming the rice in it. There was also tomato and pepper mix. There was also, of course, garlic, ginger, onions. That all went in. Now, let's talk about this, your meat. What has happened to this meat so far? What has happened to it?
Seasoning with the pepper.
The pepper mix went in, seasoned that, and you've added some green peppers to it.
Yes, and onions.
Okay, so is this a garnish? This is just a garnish?
Yes, this is a garnish.
So let's talk a bit about this pineapple here. Are you a big fan of pineapples?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we have some pineapple here that I believe is going to be used to plate. Am I right?
Yes. And I'm also using the juice for the Zobo too.
Okay. So not only do we have Zobo juice in there, steaming the rice, pineapple juice is going in there as well. I'm seeing some veggies here. What's happening around here? Garnishing? Yes. Have some green peas, peppers, onions. Okay, now let's talk a bit about this. This spice. Clove. So you can't ever understand because you're at home, but as soon as she added the clove to the onions, garlic, ginger, everybody realized something was happening in this kitchen. All over the place. People outside the door, in the corridor, they were like, wait, what's happening on Wake Up Nigeria today? This is a very special spice. Fabulous, fabulous. All right, so Chef Tiflo, how long do we have on this now?
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. Beautiful. That's what we want to hear. Food is almost ready.
Do I get a taste?
When it's ready.
Okay. Of course. All right. So, do you cook though? Do you cook your own meals?
Yes.
You do? Yes. Like what? What would you do? What would be your go-to?
So my favorite thing to make in the morning will be boiled yam and egg sauce. Okay. I can eat that every morning.
Okay.
And then I love pasta because it allows you combine all kinds of stuff together. So those are the things I can trust myself with. I can't make any other guarantees except these things I throw in the microwave and pop out.
All right, but what about family? So if family see you're cooking something, do they run or do they come closer? You know the
way kids are. They're going to take the side of their mom.
Oh, really?
So we're going to pretend as if their mom's cooking is always better. But sometimes they want you to make some special meals for them. For instance, when I make pancakes, I cut out like little faces on it, and then the kids love that. So, but if their mom makes it, she just makes the pancakes and gives it to them.
You see now.
That's the advantage.
Daddies, when daddy's in the kitchen, you're always interested. My children, they always bounce me whenever my husband is in the kitchen. They always say, Mommy, what are you doing here? Don't, we'll call you when it's ready.
But I love staying in the kitchen.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We still have loads of time with you on the show. And of course, we are waiting for this Zobo Jollof to start jollofing. We can't wait to see the finished product. All right then, another quick break coming your way. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Milo Snacks, snack of future champions. Milo!
If you want to become something, become a child again. Why be a patient? If you must worry, then worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bring in germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
Entertainment means to me, as in Nigeria, as an Africa, is in our music, it's in our art, it's in our culture, it's in the Batadan.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Food, music, arts, we have it all on Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, it's time for art display. And today our guest is Victor Mauku, a conceptual contemporary professional painter. His art speaks about originality, identity, positivity, hope, courage, togetherness, and love. And with that, it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning. How you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. Fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Pronounce your name. It's quite a mouthful.
Obikaram Nachuku.
So I did get it.
Yeah.
Obikaram Nachuku.
Not 100%.
That's lovely. Well, what does it mean, though?
In God I trust.
In God I trust.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so in God we trust, and of course we love your artworks.
Yeah.
You do great stuff, and I'd like us to talk about that. How did your foray into art begin? Was it out of passion or thanks to Jam? Which one? And that's where you found your art.
Okay, I would say that it's something that I have been born with.
When you say born with?
Yeah, because I can remember when I was still younger, I did destroy a lot of things in the house. What I mean by that is this. My dad will get to buy radio and some other stuff, and before you know it, I will go ahead, try to build up things and all that. So
using the radio, your father uses garden money to buy. You will now take parts and build stuff.
I'm sorry about that, I know, but...
You are the one Bovi was talking about. You are lucky to be alive.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
So I think creativity started from that point, and since then till now, I have really been going from one creativity to another, and finally, like you said, I get to do jam and all that. But before then, I had so much interest on art, and which I have been drawing, painting. I have some of my drawings that if I see today, I will be like, whoa. I still remember 2017 to 16, all those drawings that I did then. And now I would say it's something that has really been with me before school and all that. Yeah.
So your talent has evolved. Is that what you mean?
Sure.
Okay. So I know artists have different ways of describing themselves. And from the way you keep going on about contemporary, I am suspecting yours, if it's not contemporary, to be conceptualization or something along that line.
Yeah.
So what kind of art would you say you do? Conceptual?
Yeah, conceptual.
Okay, but seriously, when you say conceptual art, what does it mean?
It has to do with a personal idea. Or something that you feel it belongs to you and you really need to put it out. It's something that's ongoing. It doesn't have any restriction. It's just like you play by your rules.
Play by your rules.
Yeah, so you do it the way you feel it should be seen, or the way people should see it, and that's just the basics.
So most times when we have artists in the studio, they are usually dressed in a very straight-jacketed way. And so when you came in, I was like, oh, he's a performer. And then next thing, I'm like, okay, why is he looking like the art display guy? Well, sometimes people look alike. And then when it was time for art display, I saw you walk on, I was like, he's not here to perform. So what informs your dress sense as an artist? Because I don't know, I think there's something about artists that most artists leave their fashion sense at the door.
Okay.
So why is yours like major?
Okay, like I said, it's something that has to do with about conceptualization. So it's just the way I feel I should dress. I dress sometimes not because I want to impress. I dress because that is the way I want to dress. And the way it's appealing to me. And if you go also to my works, like I said, it has to be the way I want to be seen, the way I feel I should be heard. So that's how I dress.
Now let's talk about your artwork. Okay. We are very curious about those. So here we have this handsome young man. Tell us about it.
Okay, that art speaks about hope. I call it glance.
You call it?
Glance to the future. Just gazing, looking at the future, the hope of the future and what it has. And which, if you look at the painting, it has this expression of smile and all that. Yeah, so it's just like looking into the future, seeing and knowing that tomorrow is bright.
You know how they say people interpret art differently? All I'm saying is you, 30 or so years ago, looking at your father's radio and saying, where can I remove from this thing? It looks like a mischievous boy. Even though you call it the ray of hope, right?
Yeah.
This looks like mischief in the making. So I'm renaming it mischief.
No problem.
But what materials did you use to make it?
That's acrylic and canvas. Majorly, you can call it mixed media. Mixed media painting. So if you look at it, it has rough textures, which some materials would apply on it to bring out those textures. So it's a mixed media art.
Okay, so now let's talk about this one though. This one is making me, so I love chocolate. And all that brown color looking like chocolate, even though it's agbalumo seed, if I'm not wrong.
No, that's right.
Are you serious?
That's
it is, eh?
Yeah, that's
because it does look like a lot like that. But it's making me crave chocolate now. Tell us about that. What's the story? What's it called?
Okay, I couldn't bring my works, which are of large size, majorly. So I just brought that as a sample and for us to see. So that's what I mean by conceptualization. That's actually my major art display or art aim. For me to be known for that, because like we said, every artist has a voice, and every artist wants to be known for who they are. So like I said before now, my art speaks about originality, identity, hope, togetherness, and all that. So going back to this, like I said earlier, is actually bringing back my childhood, which I had so many experiences with friends, loved ones, and family, and which we had. This agbalumo tree, which is Odara in my language. Odara in my language. So we had it in the compound, which brings younger people then, like my age mates and all that. So we play around, we plug the agbalumo fruits, and then we eat, we play, and all that. So that togetherness, that love, that togetherness was pure, and it looks fun for me. Being an adult now, there is so much responsibilities and so much, now you have to create time for fun. But then you didn't really have to put so much effort to have fun.
I wonder how many agbalumo you had to consume to get this many seeds. I must say a very big thank you to you for your time. It's been quite an interesting conversation. Thank you so much. And your artwork's amazing. I love the splashes of color in that, as well as this mischievous boy, Ray of Hope. I'm going to ask mommy for ice cream. It's cute. I love it.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
Okay, so what's that one called?
That one is, I think the time I did this work, I think that was 2016 or so. I think Hidden Identity. I think that was what I titled it. Hidden Identity.
So that's like a mask, then the eyes peeking out.
Yeah, like I said, my work speaks about identity. So then it looks as if I was hidden. I couldn't come out. I couldn't be known for who I am. So it's just like unmasking myself right now, letting the world know that I'm out. And if you look at the face, you can see a sign or a painting sign that looks the same as the agbalumo seed. I don't know if you look closer, you can see the designs. It looks the same as the agbalumo seed. So it's just like unmasking myself to be known
through your childhood experiences into who you are today. Wow. Obika, thank you so much. I really admire your works. I like the stories behind each of them, and I'm also inspired by them. Maybe one of these days I'm just going to step into a studio and start using brush. Except I might just end up creating an amoeba or something.
You can actually contact me for that, and definitely will.
Definitely. All right, thank you so much indeed. At this point, however, remember what I said earlier about food, music, and art? Well, we've talked about food earlier. We just did it with art. Now it's time for some music. And I know Titi is on standby with the artists.
Alrighty then. Now, yes, we love music right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And with us this morning, we have the one and only Jeff Jones, Nigerian-born Afrobeat artist. He's based in the UK, apparently. And from what I can see here, you started performing in church, believe it or not, gospel singer. But is it Waka or Waka? Which one is it? What's the song? That turned things around, huh? Why did you turn away from the Lord? Did you turn away from gospel? No?
No, I wouldn't say I turned away from it.
What happened? What happened?
Well, music had to start paying the bills.
Okay, so okay, so that's a conversation for another day.
Time, yeah.
Exactly. But let's put the microphone closer to you.
Okay.
All right, so they can hear that beautiful voice. Let's talk about the song you're about to perform today.
Yeah, Osimen.
Osimen.
Yeah.
Okay. The footballer Osimhen?
Yeah, the footballer Osimhen.
Okay, okay. Well, you need to give us a little background to that.
No, well, the song, it's not really about him.
Yeah.
You know, it's a metaphor.
Okay.
Showing that what women can do, men can also do. So if women are like, you know, stepping out in the relationship, men could do the same. Okay. So it says, I will play like Osimhen.
Interesting. Wow. Just before Valentine's Day. Dude, what's your plan?
I've got a show I'm performing, I'm working.
All right, yeah, it is. It's all about the music, all about the work, and he's about to perform. Jeff Jones with Osimhen.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Why is your sun shining like this?
Can't you see that Harmattan season is here? We need to protect our children from this dry weather.
What about the invisible germs?
Invisible germs?
During Harmattan, it's not enough to only protect your skin. You also need protection from these invisible germs. To protect our families, we use Dettol.
Harmattan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with Germ Defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Entertainment to me is a way of life, is a way of escaping, is a way of connecting with people. It's a way of sharing stories and experiencing the very best of the human nature.
My grandma has built, and I am not going to let that destroyer end what she has already started. Tell me! You don't hear skis? Oh, police! A pop of colors, lots of colors, time to love.
And the Laba Laba Band.
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish those kids were here. I think I'm more excited to see them than Niyi himself. But he has promised that they will be here just before the premiere of that particular series, which will happen in April. Niyi Akinmolayan is in the house. Nigerian leading filmmaker, director, producer, renowned for his commercially successful and impactful contributions to Nollywood. And when I say impact, really quite a lot. Wedding Party 2, Chief Daddy, Prophetess, My Village People, The Setup are just a few of the many he has done, but these ones are amongst the top 50 highest grossing Nigerian films. Now he's set to release another groundbreaking television project. It is groundbreaking. You just saw that. That's not something that we've seen in recent times. Temi and the Laba Laba Band. 13 episodes, wonderful. Niyi, it is great to have you. You're welcome.
Good to have you.
You're welcome. There's a question I want to ask, but I'm asking for other people, not because of you.
Okay.
Why do you decide to, what is that drive? What pushes you to make groundbreaking stuff, to trailblaze? You always want to do things that you don't see. I mean, you are, if you follow him and all that, you're a fantasy yourself. You're thinking of things that always, and you know, that has made you kind of, you are different. Where did that passion come from?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's personal, but what I've always believed in, that we're capable of so much more, and sometimes someone has to take that step and show everyone else how it's done. I mean, you know, you're looking at all the films listed, and a lot of them are even cinema films, you know, and then there are films like Dishabi, you know, came out last year, Jagun. That's like a new direction that has even shifted the whole cinema landscape. So if we're truly Africans, as we say we are, we should understand something, that we're capable of so much more. And what I want to do in this space is constantly show people that we can't just be doing the same things every time. We can expand. We do not call ourselves an industry if we're really limited in the scope of what we're doing. Now we're exploring the children and family space, and we're doing it the way it should be done because we believe that there is an opportunity to explore out there, as there is with every other thing that we've tried out at Anthill.
Wonderful. Now, something I know about you is that you are big on collaboration. You've told the story of how you got into the project Jagun Jagun, and of course Lishabi and all of that. You are big on, but that is something that as Africans, inside us, we don't like collaborating. Everybody wants to be an ogam. Yeah, we don't like collaborating. As I don't know, it's antithetical. Like something inside us say, no, I'm on my own. I can do it. But you're a proponent for collaboration. How can we spread that kind of message more? How do we let people understand that it's only by collaboration that we can do big projects?
Well, I mean, I've been told to come out and talk about these kind of things more and stop hiding in my little office. So maybe a lot of people don't know that some of the great things you see out there are products of collaboration. And that's largely because we always have this one-sided facing, persona that we put out there when something great comes out. We need to change that narrative in Nigeria. Whenever something comes out and it's great and it's far-reaching, whether it's an artist that is succeeding internationally or a film that is doing well, we need to let everyone know that this isn't the work of just one person. We have that one-person syndrome, that main character syndrome, as Africans, and we need to change that. It's not that things aren't happening that are made out of great collaboration. It's just because we're not talking about it enough. So we're not inspiring the next set of collaborations, because then you see people come out and say, oh, if this person can do it, I can do it. Rather than say, oh, if this set of people can do it, or if this somebody else,
then I don't have to do it on myself.
Exactly. So that's what we need to do.
You see, I know you've spoken about this, but let's talk about it, because I remember there's a time when, I think it started with Amazon Prime, when it seemed like you're going out, and there was something I remember a post you made something about. It's not something we should celebrate. It's something that we should think. It's not the best for us. Maybe because somebody you see the person as a rival, and you think that this person dropping this person is good for you and all of that. But there's been a lot of controversy with the streaming platforms, Netflix and Amazon Prime and all of that. And then we heard stories that projects are commissioned, producers were given money, but then it was a fraction of that particular monies that were used for this kind of projects and all of that. And that has changed the landscape and all of that. How can we do better as a people?
Well, stuff like that would always happen. And what I tell people is it's very easy to, focus on the negatives. But we're all failing to realize something, that the sudden growth spout that has happened in Nollywood has been because of the streamers. The reason why we can pay actors what they're earning right now, pay crew what they're earning right now, is because of the streamers, and that's not coming down. If you look at the trajectory, since the streamers played their role, at least for the period they were in, you see the quality of the films that are coming out. Yeah. And we won't always get it right. The stories won't always be perfect. But you can tell that people are willing to spend a lot more, and people understand that they need to collaborate a lot more. I mean, we've done all the projects that we did with the streamers were huge hits, but they were all products of collaboration. So that's a positive side. And you won't fix everything at the same time. The streamers today have their own responsibility. I mean, you just throw money at the problem and just wait and see. They have to be involved. They need foot on ground rather than operating from Silicon Valley and expecting magic to happen. So it's a conversation we need to have, and it's not just one-sided, when we're ready to have it.
So at the moment now, how does it work now? Do people... because what we heard is that what happens is that you do your own project, and then if it's up to standard, you present it to them. What's the relationship with streamers and Nollywood at the moment?
Well, so right now, they're all going through the theatrical route, what we call the post, theatrical release. So you have a film, it comes out in cinema. What they're doing is they're also weighing the economic issues in country, and they're saying, hey, we need to be sure that people are going to watch this thing on streaming. So the only way we can guarantee that is to first be sure they've seen these films in cinemas, and then we can take this film. Yeah, we can gauge. Unfortunately, that really shouldn't be, because there are films that really work well when it goes straight to streaming.
Yes.
So that affects the films that you're going to be seeing in the next couple of months and years if nothing gets sorted out, because now we need to appeal to that cinema audience. That audience, it takes a bit of work.
It does. And with all of this now, I don't know. What can we do to? It seems like it's one step back.
Well, we should keep making films. We should never stop making. This is what I say. If you're a filmmaker, make films. And the reason the streamers came was because we were making films. You know, if we weren't making films, I mean, they didn't go to neighboring African countries. You know, they didn't just come to Africa because they wanted to throw money around. They were looking for places where, you know, there was real activity, real, you know, audience consuming these films. So we shouldn't, you know, slow down. But we need to develop locally. We feel that the cinemas have, you know, we have a huge opportunity to expand. You see, I mean, how many cinemas do we have in the country? Maybe 70, maybe 80. Imagine you have 300. Imagine you have 400. It changes the dynamic entirely. And what we've not been able to prove as an industry is to show the streamers that we can generate huge numbers even locally. Because for them, success is not that the show, you know, people like the show in America.
Okay, that's the thing.
Success for them is that there is huge subscriber base
locally. Okay, but yeah, Lisha, I remember you mentioned this when people were asking to see it in abroad and other places. But a lot of our market is outside there also. How is it that these things are released and you can view them locally, but then internationally it becomes a problem?
Well, so the streamers don't see it that way from a purely business point of view. So let me give you an example. Prime Video, you know, in America, in Canada, in the UK, is bundled as part of your, you know, Prime subscription. Meaning you don't pay. So if a film is doing well on Prime in Canada or in the UK, it's not really a success story because then it's not really generating revenue for them if a Nigerian film is. But because we're subscribing, we're paying, you know, for the service here, then imagine if they have, you know, 300,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, 2 million.
Based off this local content.
What would happen is because they have no justification to invest in the market if there is no subscriber base here. There's no reason, you know, they might as well just pick up any film. They know you're going to watch international films on their service anyway. So the question is, what makes them value the licenses, you know, the films that we make? What makes them pay a lot for it? What makes them invest in the market? They need people, and we're still battling with piracy. So it's a lot of conversations, you know, how do we partner with the telcos, you know, to ensure that we deal with some of these issues? How do we make data a bit convenient for people? How does the economy shift in a way that people can actually subscribe for this thing? So it's going to take a while. But from a strongly business point of view, and what they did with Lisha B was that they said, look, we've tested all the great films that have come out, you know, Nigeria, and while you think that there is that much reach outside the country, that is not the success we're looking for. We need it to be successful locally in Nigeria. Once they get to that threshold where they can measure the success from a subscriber count point of view, money is going to flow into the industry.
All right, let's get to this groundbreaking project you are doing, Temi and the Laba Laba Band. It is so colorful.
I know.
It is beautiful. Tell us about it. What do we expect to see in April when this premieres?
Okay, good. April 19, Easter Saturday, is when it starts. It's going to be a 13-episode series.
Are we getting all at once, or it's
no, it's every week. And the reason why we're doing that is this. So we're changing the model a little bit. Why throw out all the episodes at once? When, if you're doing this thing and you're putting it online, you can engage the kids a bit more. So an episode drops on Saturday, an interactive, you know, music thing drops, you know, the day after. So many things to activate with the kids, you know. There is a website, temiandlabalaba.com, where people can buy, you know, there's going to be tons of merchandise, you know, for kids, you know, interactive stuff to play with, puzzles, and they get to win, you know, actual stuff. So we're saying we can change the model rather than watch, turn off, and go. You can actually engage with, you know, the content as it goes. So it's going to be really big. It's nothing anyone has tried before.
Definitely.
We're also ensuring that the quality, I mean, when we put it out, everyone was saying, oh my God, is it Nickelodeon? Is it Disney Plus? That has always been our goal until if it doesn't look that great, we're not going to put it out there. But we want it to reach everyone. That's why it's going to be on YouTube. We've actually designed, you know, the Anthill Family YouTube channel, and Temi and the Laba Laba Band is the pilot. You know, there are 4 other shows coming, you know, before the end of the year that we'll be making announcements very soon. But this is a show for everyone, and it's not just for the kids, it's for family. It's those kind of shows we grew up watching.
I'm thinking about Kid Vision 101, Speak Out, those things are in my head, and this is what I think it will be for the kids of these days.
And it took a lot of work, because one of the things I said was that, okay, this is until we make all this kind of films. I mean, we made Mikolo, and we said, you know what, we want to make children content for kids. I'm tired of seeing children play adult roles or, play in adult, films. And I said, we're not just going to make this alone. So we sat the kids together. We discussed the idea with them. They threw in half of what you're going to be watching on the show were ideas from the kids themselves. So it's going to be a blast, for families.
It will appeal to the kids.
I want every family, every Saturday, to gather together in front of a big screen like we did and watch this. And
beautiful. Now, to wrap up, how long are the episodes?
Each episode is roughly 30 minutes.
Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful.
And it drops every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
From April 19th.
13 Saturdays. That's how they do when you say something is a seasonal.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to it. Niyi, this is all of us here wishing you the best. More grease to your elbows, man.
Thank you.
Because one thing I know is that you've done stuff that people come after you. But when you are a forerunner, that's what happens. Yes. Because you're the one blazing the trail. Yes. We're looking forward to this one. And then, of course, we'll have the kids here come and perform.
Oh, we can't wait. They'll be here.
Right. Okay, well, you cook the food, so I want to invite you. It's your own food.
Yes, sir.
We're going to eat
as well. Thank
all
you.
Right, let's head over now to the kitchen, of course, with Niyi and see what Titi and the rest have out there. So, yeah, really look.
Great to have you in the kitchen with us.
Looks interesting.
And as promised, the one and only Chef T-Flow has put together Zobo jollof rice. Please, let's just give her a hand. Let's give her a hand. Yeah. And as expected, the color is deeper than...
It's deeper than
purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wineish.
Yeah, I said it,
wineish.
maroon.
Yeah.
Wine color.
Yeah.
There's some veggies in
It
there.
looks like wanke.
Wake.
There are 4 different ways. I've heard wanke, wake. In fact,
let's focus on this one now.
Please have a taste and tell us what you think.
I can't wait for you to tell us.
Oh, sorry. Everyone is expecting.
Yes.
Pressure.
You are not the king taster. You'll be fine.
There's also fried meat in there, veggies, and pineapple juice. Right?
Interestingly,
okay.
If you close your eyes, you would believe that you're eating jollof rice. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
Because you never ruin the original jollof flavor.
Okay.
But after a while, you actually taste the zobo.
Wow.
Oh.
Chef T-Flow on the mix.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Funny,
but there's pepper there, Shao.
No,
pepper.
He's hitting.
So you know something funny, guys? Niyi and I have worked together, but we've never met.
Oh, for real?
So he had this French and Spanish production.
Yes.
And Tokwe referred him to me.
Okay.
I did the translation, French and Spanish. Wow. Did a voiceover for him. And we are meeting for the first time. This was like 3-4 years ago.
I've said this thing. I think he has a bias. We men need to come in. He's been supporting women in the industry for a very long time, from editors to directors and all. A lot of people have come from Ant
The head writer on this show is a woman. Head of production, Antil, a woman. Head of VFX.
Maybe you find it easier to work with women.
Not really. No, I mean, I can't explain it, but I feel that when it comes to this work that we do, women put in so much passion. And you know, passion is really important.
Yeah.
True. This work. And we encourage it. Until has a 50-50, gender ratio.
Okay.
And we've been very consistent.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
This show is headed by a young 12-year-old who's an amazing singer.
Wow.
You're going to see her magic.
She'll be here.
I really want this hoodie though. Who else wants a hoodie? I want a hoodie.
We'll talk about that.
Right,
we
so
have
we will.
Thank you so much for watching Wake Up Nigeria today.
Yes.
Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. This Love Month, skip the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Why settle for flowers when you can gift products that bring joy, health, and togetherness? Celebrate your love with products that bring you close.